Hello again, everyone. Zack Attack is here with my TNA Impact Wrestling review for tonight, Thursday, June 7th, 2012, the final TNA Impact before Slammiversary. Overall, the go-home show before Slammiversary, it was okay, and of course, the second week of being live, got some engaging situations going towards Slammiversary. A silly storyline just got disturbing in a hurry. And that's what began Impact tonight. A silly storyline that began Impact with Dixie Carter coming out, talking about this whole AJ thing. Of course, last week at the end of Impact, we saw that Kaz and Daniels played an audio tape of a Dixie Carter AJ phone call, and they began with showing footage from after Impact went off the air of Dixie Carter lashing out at everybody for airing that tape of her and AJ talking. And then after that, went live to the Impact Zone as Dixie Carter was out front and center. Near tears, I use tears with parentheses because she's acting the storyline out with AJ. She's like, after everything, I'm going to go out and tell the truth. The theme of the night was interruptions. I'll get to why the theme was interruptions in a moment. Starting with Dixie being interrupted by Kaz and Daniels. Kaz and Daniels were confronting Dixie about this whole, this whole accusations, about this whole AJ thing. And Dixie even tried to lash out against Daniels and Kaz for a moment. And then just when they're about to put Dixie in a corner, the old saying goes, nobody puts baby in a corner. Nobody puts Dixie in a corner. And that's what Kaz and Daniels did until AJ Styles came to the rescue, attacking the hell out of Kaz and Daniels, lashing him out of the ring. But then a very awkward situation came in the storyline as Dixie's husband, Serge, came out and punched AJ Styles. And AJ walked out with Dixie Carter after that. So this whole silly storyline between AJ and Dixie has gotten a little bit awkward and disturbing with this whole Surge thing. AJ walked out with Dixie Carter, and it looked like at the time AJ wouldn't make it for his scheduled 6-man tag match, teaming up with Kurt Angle and Sting against Bobby Roode, Kaz, and Daniels. Well, we wait to see what happens with the main event, kicking off with our first match in a non-title fight involving the undefeated Crimson, who wants more competition, taking on the X-Division champion Austin Aries. Once again, we saw a backstage confrontation between Joe and Aries. Now, it was announced last week they were going to have the X-Division match between them two. Then it was unannounced. Now it was announced again, especially after Joe's interference in this match tonight. This is a match between Crimson and Austin Aries. Austin, of course, likes finding bigger men. Yes, he's an X-Division guy, but proving from his match with Bully Ray a few weeks ago at Sacrifice, he can handle bigger men. And he could beat them if no one helped Crimson. It was a decent matchup. Austin Aries had Crimson going to be a win for him, but then Joe came in, like I mentioned, Joe came in and interfered, nailing Austin Aries with the X-Division belt, causing Crimson to get the pin and the win. Not only did we find out that Joe will be taking on Austin Aries this Sunday for the X-Division title. Should be a great matchup. Crimson issued an open challenge for Slammiversary, where Matt Morgan would turn who knows who will answer the call of the undefeated Crimson. He claims he's been undefeated longer than Goldberg. So we'll see if his reign comes to an end this Sunday. So there you go. That was our first match of the night. And we had a lot of segments, because of course, it doesn't matter if you're WWE or TNA. A week before pay-per-view, it's promo hell. And that's what happened tonight. Because we also saw a backstage segment involving Brooke Hogan talking to the Knockouts. Possibly setting up a possible Mickie James Velvet Sky feud. That Velvet got signed to do a Montgomery Gentry feud. You can tell Mickie, who is a country singer in real life, get a little mad. And you would see what happened during their match, which I'll get to in a moment. Possibly Mickie Velvet feud, probably Mickie turning heel. See what happens there. before I talk about the knockouts in that match and how it may feed this rivalry between Velvet and Mickey, Hulk Hogan came out. It's just me. Hogan was losing his voice tonight. You could really tell it when the Hogan segment, for the first one, he was starting to lose it. Talking about next week's Impact, making an announcement that it'll be a TNA title match no matter who wins. Wood came out a little bit upset because he thinks he's going to beat Sting again, being disrespected by Hogan, yada, yada, yada. Speaking of Sting, Sting came out and attacked Bobby Roode midway towards this segment. And Hogan had something to say about the title match next week, but he couldn't get a chance to. Later on in the evening, he did make the announcement with a hoarse voice and all. He said that at Slammiversary this Sunday, it'll be a three-way between RVD, Jeff Hardy, and Mr. Anderson, who were involved in the second segment with Hogan. Anderson interrupted first, and then Hogan called out Hardy and RVD. Those three were duking out in a three-way match this Sunday. Winner will get a title match against whoever is a TNA World Champion at the Slammiversary next week on Impact Wrestling. So we'll see who wins that match, and of course who wins Sting and Wood this Sunday. Now on to the aforementioned Knockouts match. As I said on my attack line, and I was right on the nose. I predicted, because we didn't know who the Knockouts were going to be, that were going to be in this number one contenders match, and I was right on the money. Mickie James, Velvet Sky, Taskmaster, and Tara. We saw not one but two possible feuds. We saw Tara and Miss Taskmaster getting it on during the match. And as I mentioned, Mickie James got an angry look when she found out Velvet was in a music video. Mickie kicked the hell out of Velvet midway towards the match. And it was a decent Knockouts match. Once again, sounding like a broken record, but I think everyone seems to agree with me now that I've said this before and I'll say it again. The Knockouts division is the best women's division of all the majors. Of the major wrestling companies right now, Knockouts are better than the WWE Divas. Said it before, and this proved it yet again tonight. Great women's match tonight. They got to wrestle, got very intense, very exciting. Like I said, with Mickie knocking out Velvet. Big moves left and right. Whereas Brooke Tessmacher getting the victory. That means Brooke Tessmacher will get another shot at Gail. Following her loss at Sacrifice, she pinned Gail numerous times before the pay-per-view. And what better way to have a title shot, not just at Slammiversary, the 10th anniversary of TNA, but also in the home state of Texas. So see, but who knows? We saw what happened with James Storm. James Storm got a title shot in his hometown of Tennessee, and he lost to Bobby Roode. And of course, James Storm's been out for a while. I think he may come back at Slammiversary. But when the same thing happened to Brooke, get a title shot against Gail for the Knockouts title in a hometown of Texas and lose to Gail. See if the hometown curse continues at Slammiversary. Gail was at ringside commentating. So there you go for a test back group. Now, Brooke, like I said, a lot of people say she's not ready yet. You know, believe me, says I don't care who gets it. I need someone new to be Knockouts champion. No, I like Gail and all. Gail is one of the best wrestlers in the Knockouts division. And I do want someone new to amp it up a bit and get some fresh meat when it comes to feuding. I would love Velvet to get it again and start another feud with Angelina. They never have a real proper feud for anything besides just stupidness. And when Angelina wasn't drugged by Winter. So, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, at least we got possible feud with Velvet and Mickie on the way. Should be interesting there. But we'll see if the seeds are planted more at Slammiversary or not. Speaking of Slammiversary, on to our next segment, which was a contract signing involving two men who will be involved at Slammiversary. Joseph Park taking on Bully Ray. They had a contract signing, of course, because Joseph Park is a lawyer and all. And they had a normal contract, which Bully Ray whipped up. He didn't want a normal match. He wanted a fight where anything goes, just basically a street fight. Anything goes, because he doesn't get sued or anything, whatever he does to Joseph Park. And Joe signed the contract, After Bully Ray encouraged him, he got a little angry. He said he was going to fight for Abyss's honor. Speaking of Abyss, Abyss showed up on the big screen. Once again, Chris is Joseph Park. Abyss is Joe Parks. Said it before, I'll say it again. So this Abyss segment was definitely pre-taped. And Abyss says Chris told, that's his real name, Chris Park. He told Joe, stay out of the fire, you're going to get burned a few weeks ago. He is going to go too far when he gets involved with Bully Ray. And Abyss says he will be at Slammiversary. So we'll see what kind of costume change will Abyss make at Slammiversary. So it's Joseph Park / Abyss against Bully Ray with Abyss making an appearance. We'll see what happens there. Of how Abyss is going to show up with the whole Joseph thing going on. Now on to our next match for the television title. At least finally, this fucking douchebag gets another shot after interrupting every fucking TV title match. He interrupted Garrett Bischoff's match a few weeks ago. He interrupted Jeff Hardy's match last week. Finally, the fucking douchebag gets another shot. Shut his ass up once and for all. Bitch Robbie E taking on Devon. Said it before, I thought this TV title match every week would be good. It was until Robbie E kept getting involved. So Robbie E got involved every week, and now he's got his own match this week after losing the fans poll last week, like I said, to Jeff Hardy. Robbie T was at ringside. Garrett Bischoff volunteered to be at ringside on Devon's side. And you saw the interference between them two, setting up a tag match for Slammiversary. There was a pretty predicament between Devon and Robbie T getting involved in it. Rolling up Robbie E when referee was distracted with Garrett. Garrett did the same when referee got distracted with Robbie T, giving Devon the win. It'll be Robbie E and T against Devon and Garrett this Sunday. Hopefully they bring this feud to an end. And please to God, give someone else a title shot. And don't let Robbie E fucking interfere. Please, to goodness sakes. There's a lot of silliness that needs to end in TNA. With, Robbie E and T interfering. And all this AJ Dixie shit needs to end. And of course, Chris and Joe. Hopefully all three of these storylines will come to an end this Sunday at Slammiversary. Like I said, I mentioned the word of the night was interruptions. Dixie getting interrupted by Daniels and Kaz. And I mentioned Hogan getting interrupted not once but twice. Once by Bobby Roode and the second time by Anderson when Hogan's voice was starting to go out. I mentioned that it would be a triple threat at Slammiversary with RVD, Hardy, and Anderson. And the winner gets the champ, whoever it is, next week on Impact. Speaking of the champ, on my main event. Bobby Roode teaming up with Kaz and Daniels against, it was set to be a 6-man tag. For the early part of the match, it was basically a 3-on-2, with Kurt Angle and Sting against them three, with AJ still trying to get back in the building after walking out with Dixie Carter following what happened in the beginning of the show. It was, like I said, a handicap match to begin. Sting and Angle had a double team on Kaz and Daniels early on. But it was okay matchup, building some things up for Slammiversary, thinking AJ was unprofessional. It was basically like a beatdown as Bobby Roode and Kaz and Daniels beat the crap out of Sting for the most part of the match. Sting trying to get some fire in him, trying to tag an Angle, but like I said, the numbers game got to Sting and Angle. But then here comes AJ coming out of the crowd to save the day. And after AJ came in with the flying move off the top rope springboard and the pay leg going off on Kaz and Daniels, the team got back into focus, and the match ended for the second week in a row in a non-title situation. Sting made Bobby Roode tap out again the Scorpion Deathlock. He tapped out last week during the Lumberjack match, and Bobby Roode tapped again. Will third time be the charm for Sting this Sunday as he gets Bobby Roode to tap for the third time in less than 3 weeks? And if Bobby Roode does tap for the third time, the Scorpion, that means Sting will be your new TNA World Champion. Will Lana Reigns end? Will Gail Kim's reign and or Bobby Roode's reign as the longest reigning champions in the divisions come to an end by either Brooke or Sting. See what happens at Slammiversary. Like I said, overall, second live Impact, decent live Impact tonight. Some would say better than Raw. Some would agree to that sentiment. This TNA is building up storylines for Slammiversary with this whole AJ Dixie thing. How will it involve AJ's match with Kurt Angle teaming up against Cass and Daniels? Cole Sting really with the title. Who will answer Griff's open challenge? And who will get inducted first to the TNA Hall of Fame? I can't believe they're doing that. But I say Jeff Jarrett. There you go. That is it for my TNA Impact Wrestling review for tonight. I will see you all later. Bye. You've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you very much. See you all later. Yeah.